Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to Apple Tech Talk. So as you can probably tell, I'm not in my current setup right now. I'm out of New York. I am in DC right now for some vacation, but I didn't want that to stop me from making my videos. So here we are. And this video especially, I was very excited to make. This is basically about the Apple Card, which was announced this past Monday. So there's a lot to talk about today. Let's get right into it. So this past Monday, March 25th, Apple announced a bunch of new services. No new products, just virtual services. I'll talk about the other services in separate videos, but I wanted this particular video to be an in-depth look at the Apple Card, which is one of Apple's announcements on Monday, and it's a competitor to existing credit cards out there such as MasterCard, Amex, Visa, etc. And the objective of this video is to determine what the Apple Card truly has to offer and whether the Apple Card is a real revolution or just another gimmick. Before I start, I just want to put this disclaimer. Of course, there's no way to 100% predict what will happen. I'm only speculating based on the state of credit cards in 2019 and what Apple offers with their new credit card. But of course, part of their success is attributed to by marketing, which Apple is very good at. So even if the Apple Card is trash, people will probably still buy it because, you know, Apple markets these things really well. So here's the structure of this video. Basically, it's going to be divided into 4 parts. So first, what is the Apple Card? Who is it meant for? What does it do? Who is it meant to compete with? The second part will be new unique features of Apple Card that don't exist on other cards. This will be an interesting section of the video. The third section is the downsides of Apple Card, and the fourth is the verdict. So first, what is Apple Card? So Apple Card is a credit card created by Apple that harnesses their mobile payment service, Apple Pay. This time, however, it doesn't utilize a typical credit card to complete those purchases, but rather Apple Card. So instead of linking your Amex or MasterCard to your bank account like you've done in the past, you're gonna link Apple Card instead. So it comes in a mobile form, which is basically virtually in the wallet app on your iPhone, or a physical card at places where they don't accept Apple Pay yet. I must say this physical card does look pretty cool. However, Apple did share that they have achieved 70% acceptance of Apple Pay in the United States, and even more in some other countries such as Australia, where they've apparently achieved a 99% Apple Pay acceptance. So I'm not sure how often you'll actually need to use this physical card, but it's there. The physical card itself actually has no information on it other than very simple information like your name. Apple emphasized several times throughout this event that they're focusing heavily on privacy, security, and simplicity. In this way, it really feels a lot like Apple is rethinking the credit card experience and converting it to their vision. Another thing to note is that Apple hasn't released too many details about the service, nor do they do any demo at the press event like they normally do with new products, which leads me to believe that this project is still very much in the works. It's supposed to come out sometime this summer, with transactions all made through, of course, Face or Touch ID. And the issuing bank of Apple Card is Goldman Sachs. So next, new unique features of Apple Card that don't exist on other cards. So basically, you don't have, first of all, any more cryptic credit card bills, where basically now it's very clear where you bought it, what you bought, how much you paid, and it's even sorted into different categories, so you can see your spending trends on what you spend your money on. However, Apple can't tell any of this information. It's done locally on the device, so you don't have to worry about that. Apple is usually very good about privacy and security, so it's not something I'm super concerned about regarding the Apple Card. So there's also a daily cash feature. So basically, this is Apple Card's version of their rewards program. So for every single, and I really mean every single purchase you make, you'll get approximately 1 to 3% cash back daily, depending on what you bought. If you bought an Apple product, I believe it's 3%, but it varies based on what you're buying. And this doesn't come at the end of the month or at a certain time every week or whatever. It comes directly after you make the purchase. So you make the transaction, you get a little bit of the cash back. And I think that's perfect. I think that's actually really cool. This cash can be used for anything. So you can send it to a friend, send it to your own bank account. You can pay off your balance that you owe. There's no annual fees, no hidden fees, no late fees, and no over the limit fees, according to Apple though. Apple Card will also show you comprehensive information about how much interest you'll have to pay based on how much you're paying down at that moment. So if you pay more than the minimum amount each month, you'll actually reduce or even entirely avoid high interest rate charges. That's what Apple is aiming to do. They claim that they want the lowest interest rates in the country, and basically the way they're going to achieve that, I believe, is by recommending that you pay more than the minimum amount, because then they'll require you to pay less interest later. There is a unique device number for Apple Card stored locally on the iPhone. However, like I said, it's not etched onto the card, the physical card itself, so you don't have to worry when you're giving a card to a merchant in real life for them to take any information. There's also no expiration date on the card or anything like that. So this virtual card number is autofilled into Safari and into mobile apps and websites when you make purchases online. Also, if you have any questions about Apple Card, which I'm sure people will, you can, apparently they can be answered via text message, so literally by iMessage. I'm not exactly sure how that's gonna work, but yeah. Furthermore, this is finally like the last big feature that distinguishes Apple Card. Apple Card will send you reminders to pay to avoid large interest charges. So basically, they want you to not forget to pay, which a lot of other credit card companies really I guess bank on the fact, no pun intended, that you are going to forget to pay, and then they'll be able to charge higher interest rates. So there are several downsides of Apple Card that I see right off the bat. But actually, I don't know if I'd really call them more downsides. They're more just questions. You know, there's a lot of stuff that just wasn't explained in Apple's press event. For example, how will the analysis on your spending work? Are there really no fees? Like they talked about no hidden fees. But, you know, especially in this day and age, late fees, for example, are a huge way credit card companies make money, because there are a bunch of people who pay their due amount late. So is Apple really not going to do that? Because I find that a little hard to believe. Of course, if they don't, then that's great. And that's really something that I think would be a very distinguishing feature. But at the same time, I don't know if Apple can really achieve that. What's interesting about Apple is that, you know, they have a certain advantage over other credit card companies. And that advantage is that Apple is one of the most valuable companies in the entire world. And basically what that means is that they don't need to make significant money from Apple Card. Basically, Apple Card for them is their way to eliminate the other competition. And it will do just that if they, for example, get rid of hidden fees. A lot of hidden fees are how other credit card companies, where, you know, MasterCard is their only product, or their credit cards to their only product that they're making money from, they rely on those kinds of hidden fees to get their profit. But Apple already has profits from so many other areas, they don't need to include these hidden fees in. So I can actually see that working for Apple the more I think about it. Also, Apple has mentioned, like I said earlier, that they aim to have the lowest interest rates in the country, but how exactly they're gonna do that, they never specified at all. Also, this text messaging system for answering questions. I can see a lot of people abusing this system and basically like texting, you know, unhelpful things to the customer service. So I don't really know how this will work. I'm sure there will be some problems with it. So I'd be careful. I always get a little suspicious when it comes to customer service, especially if it's over text message, which is such a personal way of communication for so many people. Finally, how will getting a card work? Because they talked about how you can get it in like no time compared to lots of other credit cards, or it's a whole long process that you have to sign up and apply for. How simple is it really? Not saying it's not simple, and of course I'm not doubting in any way. I just don't really understand. So, verdict. It's honestly too early to tell, like I said at the beginning of this video. I can say for sure that it looks very promising, and if Apple can deliver on what they've claimed, this card could be turning many other people from other credit card manufacturers. I'd say the top distinguishing features of Apple Card that stand out to me are the privacy/security benefits, the fact that there are no hidden fees, the comprehensive report on your spending trends, and the ease of Apple Pay, the fact that you can do it with Face and Touch ID. But I honestly think the main reason why this might be so popular is because it has the Apple brand attached to it. So the verdict is that like it's seriously too early to tell. I'll definitely do an Apple Card revisited video over the summer if that's something you guys would like to see. If you would, please leave a like and a comment below. I'll leave some links below to read more about Apple Card, including some helpful articles from my friends over from The Verge. I love The Verge. I'm not sponsored by them. This video is not sponsored by them. I just think they're a great tech source for reading. So what do you guys think? I'd love to engage in conversation in the comment section below about what you think, what you speculate about how this will work out, and whether this is about to be the biggest revolution of all time or just a gimmick. I just remind you guys, before forming any opinion on this, I would wait till the summer to make a conclusion about whether you're going to buy it or not, because you really don't have that much information at this point. None of us do. Apple has both a good and a bad rap when it comes to new products, so it's best to just wait and see with an open mind. I'm not saying to assume that it'll fail, but also don't assume it'll be innovative and amazing, because there have been many new products in Apple's history that have not been innovative and amazing, and yet people still bought it. So remember, videos on all the other Apple services are coming soon. Sneak peek, I am going to be reviewing the Apple News Plus service next, so stay tuned for that. And finally, follow me on Facebook at Generation Z Gadgets to see some of my thoughts on the new Apple products, also on some non-Apple related stuff if you're interested. And again, links in the description below. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry that if the camera quality is bad. I don't have my main camera with me. Again, I'm in DC. I'm loving it here. So yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.